did you think of the State's Chess Cup so far?
It's pretty cool. I mean, I had a friend who played for a different state last year, so I kind of knew about it. I was just a little bit lazy to like figure out how to play.
Oh, yeah. Last year, we didn't have any depth, really. So if anybody needed a day off, we would, lose the match. So we're in a lot better shape this year where we have 2 or 3 players who can take any of the 4 boards.
New York has a much stronger team than they did. Well, okay, so last time when we played them 2 weeks ago, they were more balanced. Now they have a 1700 on the last board that I don't really know, but the other people are all really strong.
So do you know everybody on our Missouri team?
Yeah. I've played all of them before and everything, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Especially Ashish, because we're the same age. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't know how old he was, if he was a high school player or had just gotten out of high school.
No, we're both seniors, so soon.
Oh, okay.
Let's go to Isaiah's game because it started. Okay, so
Isaiah has white against Chasen.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what to call this opening. Like, I want to say it's Queen's Indian, but it's not because he didn't play c4. And then he played c4 later. So I don't know if it transposed or not. I'm not like a big expert on any of these openings. I don't play them. d5 makes sense. So I guess the idea is if pawn takes, then pawn takes. So basically, like if he takes a bunch of times on d5, I don't see anything other than bishop takes h7 and taking on d5. I don't know how good that is though. And maybe I'm missing something. Maybe he has pawn takes, knight takes. No, bishop e4 doesn't work. Because just knight c3 and your queen's hanging. Okay, so I don't know. I would have taken it, but I'm probably missing something. b5 makes a lot of sense too, though. Obviously, like undermining the pawn chain. So what's his idea? I mean, okay, I was really tempted to play d6 because it sort of follows up on his idea. But after bishop takes d6, bishop takes h7, probably knight takes, queen takes d6, then maybe you can take on f3. And maybe like you want this pawn here to block the bishop, so maybe d6 is just like unprincipled too. But now, okay. I mean, white has a decision to make. Actually, I really don't like, now that the more I look at it, the more I realize that b5 is strong, because the problem is you can't really, like you can play b3, but then probably b4 comes. And then, how are you going to defend your pawn on d5? Let's see, b3, b4, knight e4, pawn takes, knight takes, f6. Oh, bishop takes and my rook's hanging, so that doesn't work. Yeah, I think d5 was a mistake then. I don't know what white, or maybe not a mistake, but I'm starting to like black's position. But also, I don't play these structures. I don't with either side, so I like could be really off. But okay, e4 makes sense. It's just trying to support d5. I'm really skeptical of this for some reason. I just don't think white can keep the center the way it is. But maybe it's working. Because, like, d6 is almost a threat, but not yet. But e5 is I mean, I don't know. Probably black will play d6 or something. Or take on c4 first. Okay, let's go to another game. Let's go to Ashish's game. This game makes more sense. So, Caro Khan, c4. So he plays c takes. I feel like e takes is the main move, and then just d4, and you play this like, what's it called, like Panov or something, and it's very similar to a lot of queen pawn positions, but the way he does it, he takes twice, and I guess he wants to play this isolated queen pawn position, which, okay, nothing too bad about it. So obviously, the isolated queen pawn is like a classic thing that you're supposed to learn. You know, the idea is that it's a weakness, so black's going to try to blockade it and attack it, and white's going to say, well, because of this, like, of open lines, like the e file is open, the c file is open, my knight wants to go to e5, my bishops are pointing towards the king, so white wants some initiative. And I have a theory about isolated queen pawn positions, but like, no, I've never heard anyone agree with me on it, but like, people always debate like what's better, to have it or not, right? And my theory is that it's always good if you're white and it's bad if you're black. Like, it really doesn't have to do anything with it. Because if you like don't waste a tempo or something and you're white, then you should have a slight advantage, no matter if you have the isolated queen pawn or if your opponent has it. But like, nobody believes me, so yeah, that's my theory. I mean, it makes sense though, because like, there's advantages and disadvantages, but if you have the extra tempo, you can always like prove the advantage sooner than your opponent can prove the disadvantage.
Okay.
But yeah, I think his position is fine. There's still like a lot of play left to be done, but his opponent has 11 minutes, which is a lot still, but he has 14 and it's only move 11, so maybe a little bit poor time management by his opponent. Another Caro Khan. Okay, so we have a King's Indian attack. That's what it's called. E5. Okay, so he's trying to avoid the like standard King's Indian and just sort of take advantage of the fact that white's playing slow. To be honest, I don't really know how you're supposed to play this, but it seems very logical, especially like a5 and, you know, advancing on the king side, and like white's supposed to be attacking on the king side in King's Indian attack, like that's the whole idea. But I'm a little bit skeptical of white's quote unquote attack. So I think Julian probably like equalized at least. And also Julian, he's always like well prepared. He knows what he's doing. So I'd say he's doing pretty good right now. Especially because he's black. And then finally, oh, what is going on in Roman's game? Okay. French, obviously. I have very strong opinions about the French, but we're not going to talk about them right now. So whenever this is, I mean, I don't know if this is the main line, but these lines do exist with queen g4. And okay, queen goes to a4. So like, this is very sharp and honestly doesn't make a lot of sense half the time. But okay, let's go fast. So he took a pawn, 2 pawns, 3 pawns, and he's just telling white, like, you know, I took your pawns. What are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna mate me? Probably not. h6 is nice, very useful. And now you're just queening those pawns. So I don't believe in white's attack either. So, I mean, it's Oh, also he has a huge time advantage. I was gonna say, if he gets in time trouble, then like anything can happen, and it's still like he has to prove that he's not getting mated. But I think Black's just winning here. I don't know why White just gave up all his pawns and then didn't attack, but it's okay. Don't blunder mate. Okay. I don't even know what White does to try fake attack. I think with okay. So this one should be a win. Let's check the other ones. Okay, let's go back to Isaiah's game. So I like f3. I mean, rook d1's an option to defend the bishop. But he's taking a lot of time. One thing I know, just like the more I play, the more I realize is that time matters way more than you think. Like if you're down, let's say 3 or 4 minutes, that's like, that's like the equivalent of, like if you're up a piece and you're down like 5 minutes, that's like equal. So I'm really confused. Okay, I guess it's technically not up material, but why do you do this? I'm pretty sure this is just good for Black. Or is it? I don't know. Maybe he calculated something. So if rook takes d1, rook takes, knight takes e3, pawn takes. Does he want knight? I don't know what he wants. This looks terrible. 2 bishops versus rook. Okay, I'm gonna stop speculating over his decision. Just move on. You know, this position's not the best. Oh, Julian already won. Wait, let's go back and see what happened. So I was saying after like bishop f8 or something on move 11 that Julian was doing pretty good. And then, let's see, just go through really quick. So e4 got weak, as it often does. I played so what? White trapped their own bishop. Very nice. And then pretended to attack, and then lost some more material. Wait, he hung his queen. I shouldn't be laughing, but like, that might have been a mouse lick. But anyways, White's totally busted because he's down a piece and he's losing another one. So that was a good win. We need that. Roman's winning. Isaiah, I don't understand what he did. Okay, let's go to Ashish. This is the last like game that's kind of up in the air still. Wait. So we left after move 11, rook e1. So knight b4, and for some reason he decided not to save this bishop. Yeah, I also have very strong opinions about the bishop pair and like bishops versus knight. So I would have played bishop b1 in like half second. Or maybe not bishop b1, I just move my bishop somewhere. Probably to b1, maybe to c4. I don't know what it does there. Maybe, oh wait, was he losing a pawn? Is that what he was worried about? Okay, but I might have tried to sacrifice it anyway. But that makes his decision make more sense, I guess. So he lost the bishop pair. Then stuff happened. Okay, so he took this bishop back. And he got the c file, which is good. Okay, so Black's trying to mate, but I don't really believe in this. Although I'm not really sure why g3 was played. I mean, see, I'm more worried about the queen than the bishop. I would maybe, if I wanted to move one of my pawns, I would move the h pawn, but that's just me. So the good thing is that Ashish has the c file, The bad thing is that his bishop it's close to becoming a giant pawn. It's not there yet, but this is definitely not a good bishop. Also, he doesn't even have the c file because you can, worst case, black can trade queens and play rook c8. I mean, black can go back, or yeah, I was gonna say, or he doesn't want the c file. I guess because after rook c8, rook c1, and then you trade rooks, and even though white's bishop is bad, it's not easy to win. But I would say now, so I mean, he has extra time, which is good, but his position's definitely slightly worse. I don't know how worse, but I mean, with 5 minutes, it's gonna be a tough task to like convert this into a win, but I don't know, his opponent's strong, so we'll see what happens. Like the thing is, with isolated queen pawn, you're supposed to trade the minor pieces and keep all the rooks and queens on the board to like put pressure. But the thing is, like once you trade so many pieces, like if you only have rooks, if it's like a pure rook in game, I don't think I don't think white definitely has better chances to draw than black does to win, like a lot. And with the bishops on, it does help black a little bit, but I don't know how much. But also, that's in classical. This is like rapid, so I'm probably his opponent's going to play forever for a win, and hopefully Ashish can hold this, but I don't know. Okay, let's go to Roman's game. I thought he was just winning. And let's see what happened. Okay, what is...
Just take the knight.
So, okay, if pawn takes, then your rook hangs, right? If rook takes, then the idea is rook h8 and you take the rook on a8. Oh, okay. But, like, I'm really tempted even to just ditch this rook because, like, unless I get checkmated somehow, like, I'm not too worried. I have so many pawns, but I think he's maybe calculating something and he's kind of worried that he might be in danger of getting checkmated. So this was like a nice try by his opponent. I mean, I really don't believe in this, but I mean, let's see, king e7. Does king e7 lose? I mean, okay, king e7, probably rook takes rook, pawn takes, queen takes. What's the threat, though? And, like, king e7, I'm gonna take your knight. So queen c7, I can get away with taking your knight, probably. And also, like, I'm sure he's calculating rook takes f6. Because even though you lose the exchange, okay, probably not king d7. After rook h8, king d7. Probably. So there's no queen c7. I don't know if queen c7 does anything. Okay, then rook takes a8. We'll just assume the king went somewhere. Then c2. Actually, no. I want my king on e7. I changed my mind. Because if rook a7, I want to be able to block. Okay, so he played king e7. He decided that was too much trouble. Which, okay. I mean, if he has a lot of time and he should be winning, so he probably just wants to take the easiest way. Especially like in team matches, you're supposed to try to not lose at all costs. So like, I like that decision. Also, I just saw maybe a funny, I don't know if this does anything, but like g5 would be really funny. Because you can't take because of the pin. You can't take your rook because queen hangs. But that doesn't do anything. Also, white's knight is hanging right now, so it has to go somewhere. No. Probably rook takes h6. That's what we were looking at earlier. Yeah, rook takes, pawn takes, queen takes, and then there's no threat. So I think just c2. Like, what's the threat? I'm not getting checkmated. You have a queen and a knight. You're not checkmating me. I have enough. So he's not going to take it. He's going to stop c2, but how? Nah, this is game over. I think white will resign soon. Okay, see, Isaiah lost. Yeah. I mean, after he gave up the 2 pieces, that's kind of what I was expecting. Like, I don't know what the engine says, but like 2 bishops versus rook, I would take black all day. Yeah, see, like, he just like, 2 bishops are too strong. You just lose all your pawns and then they queen. And it's very sad. I don't understand his decision. Maybe I missed something, but I don't understand why he took on e6. Like, what's wrong with f3? Wait, now I'm actually curious. Let's check with the engine. Okay, so rook d1. Yeah, queen takes e6 was a blunder. Bishop c2 and rook d1 are good. Wait, I gotta show more. Wait, how do I? Oh, settings. Settings. I gotta show like 3 lines so I can decide if. So f3 was good. It wasn't the best move, but it was good. Rook d1, bishop c2, and f3. They all made sense. Okay, so now I can not feel bad because okay, Julian's playing bullet. I can not feel bad because I was right for once. Roman queen, and he won. Good. So we just have Ashish left. Yeah? Nothing is happening. It's like the same situation as before. Wait, actually, no, I don't want to say nothing. He like tried to go after the h5 pawn, but why didn't he play g6? I'm like really confused. After rook c5, when he attacks the h5 pawn, why did he play rook h8? I'm really confused. Okay, so I think objectively, black is better. Slightly. Like, probably not even enough to win in a classical game. But, like, practically, because he has 1 minute and Ashish has 7, I think white is the one playing for a win here. Even with 2-second increment. Like, you think it's a lot, but it's really... Like, I guess for bullet players it might be, but I don't know how strong his opponent is in... Let's check. Let's check their ratings. Okay, so... He's pretty good at bullet. So maybe it's just, like... He has a habit of getting in time trouble. But at least for me, 2-second increment, it's not enough. Like, it's not really that much where you can think a lot. It's just enough so you don't flag. But that's also because I'm really bad at bullet. So rook a8 and a5, that was a nice idea by his opponent. But what if I just take and play like b5? This can't be bad, yeah? b5? I'm assuming b5. What's the, is the idea a4 and then... No, I really don't believe in this. I mean, he also can just leave it. Like, there's... Yeah, b5, though. It makes more sense, because you don't... This rook, you want to make it look... Okay, so the idea was a4, and he wants to, like, target... He wants to stop white from playing a4 and defending the pawn on b5, but... I just play rook c5 and defend everything. And if you ever play b6, then I play rook c6 and take your pawn. So, yeah, king e4... Okay, now I think white's the one playing for a win, just considering the time situation. If it was a classical game, I would be surprised if the game ended in anything but a draw, but... So I guess the other games can't start until this one's done, right?
Sometimes they can, but usually you have to wait for the opponent or something. So, and also tonight, they're entitled to 10 minutes between rounds if they want for a break. And I think maybe tonight they'll use
because
it.
I remember last match, like, I just kind of like, I wasn't sure. They never told you, oh, you can, like, oh, you start. So it'd just be kind of like you'd be looking, and if your opponent wasn't playing, I just like challenge them, and the next game would be going. So.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's fine too. If you guys want to start playing, you can. So.
Yeah, I hate having no breaks though. It's like, because especially if you're in time trouble, you have all this adrenaline, and then you don't like, and then you start, and then you can't think properly.
Right.
So, yeah. Now White's weak pawn doesn't do anything because you can't go after it. Now it's about piece activity. And, I mean, like, I would say Black's pawn on a4. Like, I think White, she's just going to just march his king over there and maybe see what to do next. Maybe he'll play b6 someday. And march his king further. I don't know. His opponent played this really poorly. I think he has good winning chances now. So why not just king c4? See, yeah, his opponent offered draw and he declined it, so he knows. And his opponent's higher rated, so he definitely did not want to offer the draw. So I think they both know that it's like b6. I really want to play b6 just without calculating. But maybe he was scared of... Nah, rook c8 can't be good. King pawn endgame has to be a losing, right? But also, just like, at this point, with so much time advantage, anything is good. Okay, b6 just wins a pawn. b6, rook moves, then rook c7, then I take your pawn. Good. He's probably just double checking. And this pawn's close to queening too. Okay, so he has this, but the king and pawn endgame is like totally lost, right? So, okay, don't play like rook e7, because then okay, even that, then he takes with check, but you take on a4. But I think just rook b8, what he did, because this king and pawn endgame, there's no way Black holds this. No. Ditch the pawn. Okay. a4. Yeah. This, like, White queen's way too fast. Black's too slow. Queen h1. Or that. Anything. He has a lot of time. It's no issue. Okay.
All right.
So that's good. That was a big upset because Ashish is our board 4 and that's their board 1. So I think we won this round 3-1, right?
Yes, I have wins for Asish, Julian, and Roman. Does that sound right?
Yeah. His friend, so he also, well, he lived in St. Louis. I think he just like moved to college. And this friend, he's like a friend of Julian and I. He went to my school, so like we were actually really good friends, and he's like around the same rating as me. And one day, like, we were playing some tournament, and he was like unsure of what opening to play because he hates studying opening theory, like everyone. So he was like, what should I play? And he asked me, and he was like half serious, half joking. And I was also half serious and half joking. So I dared him to play b3. He played it. He was playing against like some FM or IM, and he got a really good position. He lost eventually, but he was like doing so well. And then ever since then, he was like, b3 is the best opening ever, and he likes it a lot. And then, so now he plays b3 all the time. And I mean, based on what Julian's playing, he probably like not learned it, but got the idea from that friend. I mean, that's what I would bet. So I don't know for sure if I know that supposedly when Black plays c5 and d5 and c5 and knight f6 without e5, like with the pawn on e7, then knight c6 is actually like sort of a mistake because of bishop b5 and this these double pawns actually become weak. But I don't know if bishop b5 against e5 is like also a thing. So, because these e5, the structures are a little bit different because black gets an e4 and d5, etc. And these can become kind of tricky to play, but it looks like Julian's handling it really well. At least from what I can see. So, bishop d7, then knight d4, like, knight d4 doesn't do anything. I mean, g7 is hanging, but I don't know if I want to take it. Do I? Or am I going to do something smarter? I'm so glad I don't have to play this. It's too hard to make decisions so quickly. He played knight d4, which I was suggesting earlier, but I don't... How good is this? So knight takes, bishop d... Wait, does he have to play bishop d7? Yeah, probably, because c6 is there. Okay, bishop d7, queen d7, take... I mean... White has to have an advantage, because this pawn on e4, which looks really strong, is a weakness. It's like to amateur, well, I'm an amateur too, but to like lower ranked players, they often think like, oh, it's so strong, you know, but it's like, that's kind of like a well-known misconception. I would say that I mean, this pawn has to be king take. Okay, I see how it is. So he's probably debating between bishop and queen takes. I don't think pawn takes makes any sense. Bishop takes, I would be worried a little bit that my queen would get trapped, but it's probably not. But, I mean, I like queen takes anyway. Okay, bishop takes. It's probably pretty close. Okay, so I think Julian's doing pretty good, but we should probably look at another one.
I got a text from Brian from the club, and he said that Asish has a great position now.
Ashish, okay, let's go look. French. Okay, like I said, I have strong opinions about the French, but we're not going to talk about those today. So this was, okay. So once upon a time, I was looking at this line like, from white perspective, and I think it looks really scary for black, but from my knowledge, like, I don't know if his opponent handled it properly. I don't know how much theory his opponent knows, but from what I remember, there is like it looks scary, but it's actually like good for white. But I could be totally wrong because I never played this. I just like analyzed it for some reason, like pretending that I was going to play it. But I know I'm not because I'm way too lazy to actually memorize everything. Okay, so FE, I don't like that move. Take on e6 from white because you just release the tension too early. Like you don't know if you want to take or play f6. I strongly dislike that. Also, because he was smart, black was smart to not castle. So it's harder to get attacked if you're not there yet. Okay, brave decision taking that pawn. And g6, threatening bishop f5, so probably either king a1 or knight g3. I don't see another move. But see, the thing is, white misplayed this a lot, and he has no attack, and it's just all black doing the attacking. And initiative in like rapid and blitz, the initiative, especially blitz, but also rapid, it's very important. It's just like easier to play black here. But also you never know because I think he's playing Nico Chasen, right? So I don't know. last match, I was discussing with Ashish last time when we played New York 2 weeks ago. He said that he was doing really good against Nico too, and then he like played really bad at some point, like made a few bad moves, and then he just lost. And I mean, when I played him, I had like a pretty good position too, and I just like, I don't even know what I did. I played for like, I just made a few bad moves, and then it all went away. So he's tricky. Nico's tricky. He's young, so I think he's 15. That sounds right.
Yeah, I think he's a teenager. I didn't know exactly how old. But.
No. Like I've been to tournaments with him. Some, like I never talked to him, but it's just I'm trying to. He's either 14 or 15. I think he's 15, but I don't know when his birthday is. So we're just gonna say he's 15, and he's tricky. You know, he's FM. He can't be that bad, but Nico has this tendency to like. From what Ashish told me in my game, he just like kind of doesn't take the opening seriously, and then when bad things happen, he like starts to think and do things. But I think it might be a little bit too late for him. Hopefully Ashish can pull this one off. Then he'll have 2 upsets, which is good because then his last 2 games are a little bit easier. So that will help us get some points. Okay. Let's check Isaiah. We have, okay, it was in English. Well, ready English thingy. I don't even know what to call them. They always transpose anyway. And then, yeah, it did transpose into a G3 King's Indian, which I also know nothing about. Why does everyone play D4? If you play D4, I don't know anything because I don't play D4. So it's like... treated queens. Is this like... Oh... Okay. Bishop wasn't on G5 yet, which is good. So he had to play rook E8. And then... Okay, for some reason, white gave up this bishop. I like bishops, so... Yes. Knight went... Okay. So, let's see. If black can untangle, then black is better. Because of bishop pair. If black can't, and white can keep their initiative and like sort of clamp down, then white's better. Yeah, F5, okay. See what... Black wants to play F5, kick that knight out, and then C6. Let's see. C6... Knight goes, bishops. And also because the knight is on D2, that means that the rook is temporarily blocked, so the other bishop can try to get out too. Bishop C7 maybe? I don't know. I would also consider moving the knight because I want my bishop on E6. And also this pawn on C6 is like very useful to sort of stunt white's bishop on G2. So maybe white will try like B4 or B5 someday. Especially when the C8 bishop moves, because then B7 is always hanging. But I don't know. A lot of decisions to make. See, this one is like, I can't like give you an accurate evaluation because it depends on a lot of things, like in the next few moves. It's kind of, it's not that concrete, but it depends on the next few moves. If black has like 3 moves, then black is better. Like, just like get their pieces out. Then black has the bishop pair and these nice pawns in the center, and black's definitely better. But the thing is, if white plays fast, then white can probably stop black from doing all these things that he wants. So that's probably what Isaiah's thinking about. Okay, let's leave him to think. Hopefully he doesn't get down too much time. And let's check Roman. So Roman's playing Tani. Tani is really young. He's like 11 max. I think he's 10, but maybe he's 11. So, this like Italian stuff. Okay, so let's see. With bishop g5, so already that's not something that I'm super familiar with, but I know some stuff. Bishop e6, he takes. See, on principle, taking is bad, but also I remember in like the one of the world championship matches, Carlsen did it, and he got a good position. So like, who knows anymore? Maybe it is good. I think he was probably black's gonna play queen d7 and castle queenside. So maybe this does make some sense, especially. And now, now black decides to castle kingside, and now you can just sort of play it like a normal Italian. Although normally, like in the Italian, you still have your bishop, like on b3 or c2 or somewhere. So we got d4 in. Takes. Oh, he blundered a pawn. So d4 was a blunder. Because after everything gets taken, if you take the knight with the queen, then you get forked on e2. So he blundered that. And then, locking the rook away. Interesting. I mean, I'm assuming White's just trying to like find compensation for the pawn, but Black's definitely has a big edge here. So that's a little bit unfortunate because like if we go by rating, Roman should win. Obviously, if we went by rating, then we wouldn't have a match at all because that's like upsets are supposed to happen. But it's a little bit unfortunate. Okay. Let us check Ashish. She has a good position. So we left it after, I think, queen c1 on the 20th move. And then he just went c3 and c2 and said, what are you going to do about it? And after c2, White can't take on a4 because bishop c3 will lead to mate. So he played bishop d2 to stop it. And now, what is happening? Everything's hanging. Okay, but this has to be winning. If it's not, like everything wins. Come on. That wins. Taking the rook wins. Taking the bishop wins. I don't want to be too like cocky, but I think everything wins. So now we threaten mate on a2. So you have to take me. But then I take with bishop, and then you take me again. Queen takes, queen b2, and then I take your rook. It's a lot of material. And if you don't take my knight, what do you do even? Like queen b2? Then I take your rook. Yeah, this... Okay, so you just resigned. Very good. So Ashish had 2 upsets today. And I don't want to speak too soon, but, you know, he has 2 easier pairings later. So he's doing his job. Because, like, I mean, on paper, we're definitely the underdog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we just need a few upsets, right? Oh, no. In Roman's game, he just blundered another piece, I think. Queen takes e4 is very nice. Because, wait. Actually, so, okay, if pawn takes, then knight e2, and rook takes, then rook f1 is mate. And so you have to try rook takes, and I'm assuming the idea is rook takes, and if you take back, then knight e2, and you... Wait. You lose your queen, but you get the knight back. Huh. And I don't... Wait, let's see. Rook takes e4. Rook takes e4. I don't have to take your rook, do I? Oh, and queen's... Oh! Queen c4. I missed that. King h7? What's happening? I take your queen. What do I even take with? I don't know. I don't think it matters. Okay, so probably I will take the queen somehow. And then you'll take my rook, something. It's going to be rook, knight, and black doesn't have an extra pawn anymore. Okay, wait. Where'd the extra pawn go? Oh, he sacked it. Okay, then this was a mistake by black. I changed my mind. So he probably, yeah, because kids, all they do is play for tactics. I'm the same, but like slightly better because I'm older. But I get it. So he blundered this. I think black blundered this because he only gets rook unless I'm like totally missing something. Okay, so that's like a desperado. So you're gonna lose the rook. You get a pawn for it too. And now it's queen and pawn versus rook and knight. I think black definitely blundered this. The question is, how easy is this to win? I think not too difficult because of the e-pawn. Without the e-pawn, maybe. But with the e-pawn, I don't believe in fortresses either, so. Okay, so that turned around. That's good for us then. Let's check Julian. We haven't checked Julian in a long time. Last time we saw was after bishop takes d4 on move 13. So he's like moving his queen around, trying to not trade queens. Then he got castled. Somehow, see, the thing is, like, king takes c7 was really weird, but I don't think white, like, managed to punish black for it. Maybe there wasn't a punishment. Maybe it was fine. Just, it looked weird. I mean, he's certainly trying with b4 and rook d5, but how good is this? You sacked a pawn. Where's your attack after king b8? I'm like kind of confused right now. Because if rook c1, there's no threat. And black wants like f4 and stuff. King b8, what am I missing? Oh, he's probably also considering queen c3. This looks strange. Julian made a series of strange decisions. Somehow, like, black just really quickly because white had to move their queen so many times before it, like, got back. Then black had all the time they needed to coordinate their pieces, and maybe black was even better already. So that probably means that maybe bishop takes d4 was fine, but after, like, c6, just, like, play queen c4 and like go after the weak e-pawn or something, because like he just gave black too many tempi. I think that's what happened. And now queen c3 was played, and I mean, you can't take it. That would be wait, never mind, don't say I. So queen takes, pawn takes, rook c1, king d6, probably. Rook takes, king takes. I mean, I wouldn't want to play that. Queen c4, I like this decision. Especially because I don't know if, like, he might still be playing for a win. Julian. Just because, like, I know Julian, and that's kind of his mindset. Like, when he's playing lower rated people, he's probably still playing for a win. So, but it's tough. He sacked a pawn. He's down 3 minutes. I think he's probably just going to try to create some chaos and attack the king and hope for the best. I mean, not the worst plan in the world. So
Roman lost his game, maybe.
Sorry?
I think Roman lost his game.
Oh no! What happened? He hung. Oh no. See, I was saying it shouldn't be that hard to. And then I jinxed him. Darn. He hung his queen. Okay, that's unfortunate. So in the end, Ashish's win was kind of evened out by Romans. But we still have 2 games going. Julian's, we said, was, who knows right now. And Isaiah looks like he did, in fact, get his pieces untangled. He got his knight to d3. And then he had the bishop pair, and I mean, so he momentarily lost a pawn, then he got it back. That was, I mean, let's see. Maybe there was probably no need to lose that pawn, but he did manage to get it back, and I mean, he's definitely better here. How much, I don't know. We'll have to figure that out, I guess. So time is around even. He's down a little bit, but not too much. Let's see. How does black go about making progress? Bishop d4 is tempting, but you have to make sure that knight takes d4 and pawn takes, that rook endgame is like you're actually able to do things. And I think after king f2, probably it's not good, because after knight, bishop d4, knight takes, pawn takes, rook d2. So he just moves his rook. There's no need to rush. But he needs to move his bishop and bring his kings somehow. Like, I don't know how, but so you bring your king, maybe shove your pawn to a3, I don't know. And you just kind of play on like the c4 weakness and just, I mean, yeah, your general plan is just to kind of bring all your pieces around and surround the queenside weaknesses. I'm sure he's probably just taking it one move at a time, which is good. And time is like equalizing, so. Okay. Question is, do we want to trade rooks or not? I think not, but rook d6 is coming if we don't trade rooks, so we might have to. Rook a3, rook d6, rook takes a2. Yeah, that's probably bad. So he decided to take. But now white's king blocks black, so. Oh, he just offered a draw. Okay, so I think he kind of realized that he has not much of an advantage anymore, which I kind of disagree with. I think.
White offered the draw?
No, black? It says black offers draw. Oh, so okay. I don't. Okay. And then is his opponent going to decline it because he's higher rated? I mean, if anyone's better here, it's black. Black has a bishop. There's pawns on both sides of the board. Black's king is slightly more active, you know? Like, I mean, white's only hope is to somehow win the b6 pawn, maybe. But how? Your knight's terrible. Maybe he was just trying to psych his opponent out. That's one possibility. Sometimes draw offers just like confuse your opponent a lot. And now he's spending a lot of time. And also draw wouldn't be the worst result because who knows if he can win. He's the underdog here, so maybe that was a smart decision. Let's check Julian. Julian caused some mess. Okay, so he got his pawn back. That's good. Threatening rook c1. I think my prediction for this game is that it's going to come down to a time scramble. Like, they're not going to trade very much, and it's going to be a time scramble between the two of them because Julian's playing really quickly, so his opponent's equalizing on time, sort of. It's going to come down to a time scramble, and I hope that it's a time scramble that Julian comes out on top. So queen h8, maybe? That's my prediction, but I don't know. So I guess you can just take that pawn. Like, why not? Free pawn. King c7. Maybe it won't be a time scroll. Maybe Julian will win before then. I hope. So now that black lost that pawn, then his other pawn is beat. His king is still not in good shape, especially compared to white's. For d2, he's trying to do stuff. I don't know what. I think he's just pretending to attack. h4. Actually, this move makes a lot of sense. Like, normally you don't want to move pawns in front of your king, especially if it's like there's still queens on the board, major piece ending with queens. But I think he's just trying to, like, if they ever do trade queens, like, so that this h pawn is further, and because that's going to be how he's going to try to win. He's just going to throw those pawns, stop the b pawn, and queen that one. But if black doesn't trade queens, maybe it will become weak. I don't know. So he doesn't take the pawn, which I think is smart. Because if queen takes b5, then just queen takes g6, and then h4 is very justified because I just run that h pawn. But I think black's main problem here is still his king. Like, king b6, where are you going? Queen h6 back? Interesting. Oh, he wants h5. Okay. Okay. Let's check back on Isaiah. I think he made some progress, sort of. His opponent declined to draw by sacrificing a, well, not sacrifice, he tried to play g4. But now he's just, wait. 92. King takes, what did he blunder that? I hope not. I hope he calculated. 92, king takes g4, knight takes c1, king f3. Maybe this is a genius idea, because, wait. No, it's probably, okay, no, king f3 was played. Sorry, I'm like thinking too hard to like say what I'm thinking about out loud. No, I think white queen's first in that pawn endgame. Like 92, g4. Okay, maybe white's in 6. Also, knight g1, king f2. No, I think he blundered that. That's sad. Or maybe he just didn't know how to make progress, which is kind of fair because 92 is coming anyway. But I think this was a little bit too risky. Knight takes a5 or knight takes c5. Pawn oh. See, the thing is, oh no, this is losing because if you play g2, b8, g1, queen f1, then king goes, queen g8, I trade queens, and then I come take your pawns. You're way too far. So yeah, I was gonna say though, if he didn't blunder it, this is way too risky, like for a team match. So, I mean, also maybe he just was playing for a draw. Like, you know, when you have that mindset of playing for a draw, you just kind of start playing worse moves and start blundering. I don't really know what happened, but what I do know is that he's losing. Or, yeah. Wait. Maybe I will revise my assessment. a3, c6, king c3, c7, king b2. No, you're one move, or you're like 2 moves too short still. If this was like one down, like if, okay, even this, like, yeah, that's just a simple way. Now you go take the pawn. Okay, so that was a sad loss too, which means it's up to Julian to equalize, but can he do it? They trade a rook somewhere. Okay, I'm not going to go all the way back because there's too much stuff going on right now. And he does have an extra pawn, but his king is eh. So yeah, it is a time scramble. But I think this is just a draw. Wait. Actually, now can you play... No, you can't play f3. That's crazy. Don't do it, please. Okay. I think it's just a draw. I don't see how white makes progress. Yeah. There's no way to make progress. Yeah, I was gonna say you can try this, but like you just get checked away. And as long as black doesn't trade queens or get checkmated, then it's just a draw. Unfortunately. That was a tough round though, because we had two people blunder in like winning / good positions. Oh, okay, just agreed to a draw. Oh well. I'm not gonna criticize them too much because like if I was playing I would have like lost way before, but I would prefer not to have two people blunder, you know? Wait, we won the first 3-1 and now 2.5, 1.5. So we're still ahead by 1 point.
Yeah, I've got a 4.5 to 3.5.
Oh, Julian already started. I thought they were going to take a break. Wait, I think he should have just asked to take a break. Because whenever you come off another one and you're like full of adrenaline, you won't play well. I don't think you can. You need like a few minutes just to like wash away the previous game. I don't know how to describe it. Because you're like, I know chess players are supposed to be good at like refocusing and like, especially in the middle of game, if things change really fast, you have to adapt quickly, but it's always better to have more time than less. So they're playing some like strange, I don't know what to call it. I think, was b4 really necessary from white? I don't know. It's just like a normal opening though. I think you should play a4 at some point. Probably now is a good time. Or you can play bishop e3. I would have played a4, but I'm sure this is fine too. So black goes for an early d5. I don't like how he didn't castle yet. I mean white, obviously. Because things are just much better when you're castle. Yeah, I don't think this is theory anymore. I think my gut tells me that white misplayed this a little bit because black got d5 in with barely any trouble. Yeah, so like usually how you prevent d5 is like you might like put a rook on e1. So like you don't trade bishops. You keep the bishop back there. You like either your bishop stays on c1 or it goes to g5 really early. Here it cannot go there anymore, so it has to stay on c1. And he should have just like played rook e1, which kind of prevents d5 because the e5 pawn's always in danger. But somehow my gut tells me that white misplayed this, and black is fine now. So I don't know. These Italians are always like. So many super GMs play it, and they ruin the opening. Like, this is gonna be a little bit of a rant, but whenever a super GM starts playing it, then, like, I know theory always exists there, and there's like a lot of theory always, but they like make more theory, and then they make it so that everyone knows the theory. That's the problem. So then you have to learn the theory too, and like all these little subtleties, And I personally hate it. I hate learning openings. So they kind of ruined these openings for me. But now it's not like a super GM line, I don't think. But I think that's because White misplayed it, not because of anything cool. So he gave up the bishop. Not a decision I would have taken because I like bishops. But it makes some sense because he wants e4 probably. Before, if he played e4, his knight, Black's knight would have gone to f4. So g6, that's kind of annoying. Now no more knight f5s. Okay, we're just going to leave it here and check someone else. I'm just going to say Ashish misplayed it. You can quote me on that. If Ashish yells at me later, okay, whatever. Let's check Roman. So we have another French in another King's Indian attack. Last time we had a King's Indian attack, it was Julian against Tani, but it was like a Carol Khan version. I think against the French, it's like slightly better than the Carol Khan. But I'm not, don't quote me on that. I'm not, yeah. B5, interesting. So was this a pawn sack or what? Did he blunder it or did he sack it? Did he assume that he had bishop a6 after queen takes b5? Because he doesn't. His bishop is hanging on c5. So, question mark. If his knight was still on d7, then it's true he can't take. Okay, so I'm really tempted to say that it's a blunder, but it could be a sacrifice. Just the chances are low. I mean, Black has some compensation. It's just strange to give up that pawn. I'd really like a knight to get to c3, but I don't think that's happening. Queen e8. Interesting. What's the idea? Maybe the idea is like bishop a6 and a4. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know why the queen went to e8. Okay, I don't know. Oh, is he trying to play queen c6? No. That's like a cheap trick, though. He's trying to play queen c6 and double attack on c2 and e4. But there's so many ways to stop that. I don't think that's his idea. I think it's bishop a6 and a4. But, or it's rook d8. Okay. Are you not scared of bishop takes f6? I would be. Okay, so based on how he's playing now, he definitely blundered that pawn. I think he just forgot his bishop was undefended on c5. That's not good. So he has a tough task left. Okay, now we gotta go check. Wait, what was the one game we didn't check? Did Isaiah's game start? I don't see it.
Last time I checked, he was on break. So.
Okay, so let's go back to Julian's game because a bunch of stuff happened. Some normal stuff. Everyone got developed. Bishop went to b8 to keep the bishop. Julian shares my obsession with bishops. I know that because we've discussed it. So I'm not surprised. Queen c7 is tempting, but I don't think it's like, then just g3. It doesn't do much. And you put your queen in the line of the rook. Same thing with queen h4. I think just g3. I don't think it really weakens White's position that much because the bishop is heading to g2 anyway.
Wait, when you look at Isaiah's... Oh, they're playing right now. I thought maybe that.
Oh, it just started.
I thought maybe that game was already over and I missed it or something.
Yeah, they just started.
Okay. Which game did you want to look at?
Let's go back to Julian's game because... Okay. e5, I like this. He's like, I think Black's definitely equalized, so now he's like trying to pushed forward. I like it, but I'm also simultaneously worried about like knight f5 and stuff. Because now the support of the d5 knight is gone. I'm not sure. e5 is a move that I would play, but it's also it could be a move that I would mistakenly play and it would just end up being bad. And I don't have an engine to confirm anything that I'm saying. So I'm just going to say that I like it, but I'm like also scared that it's going to lead to unfortunate repercussions because like is knight f5? Are you going to play g6? Is that what you're going to do? If not knight f5, then I think you can justify this one. If knight f5, what does he do? Okay, let's stop looking at this game before I like start rambling nonsense. Isaiah's game. So it's a London, and Black decided to play the King's Indian setup against the London, which generally I thought the setups with d5 and c5 were considered better, but what do I know? Was this? See, like all these people like giving up pawns, and I like can't decide if they're sacrifices or blunders. Because you're getting some compensation, but it's like not enough. So I don't know if they mistakenly sacrificed it or if they blundered. This one also seems like a blunder. Because I don't know what Black's idea even is. But, okay. Bishop takes? Okay, interesting. Probably just queen c2. Oh, no, queen c2, bishop f5. Maybe I don't want to play queen c2. Maybe I want to play queen b3. Yeah. Queen c2, bishop f5, bishop d3. No. But if you don't do that, then it doesn't make sense. Yep.
I think Asish won his game.
Already? Okay. See, they both play really fast. I'm not surprised. Ashish is a fast player in general, and his opponent's really young, so. But I was saying, I thought White misplayed it, and then he goes and just. Okay, he got d4, and so maybe it wasn't so bad. It was just unusual and something I'm not used to. And then his opponent hung a piece. I mean, I don't think he missed after rook e. I don't think he missed d5. He thought he could take, and he missed queen c3. But he hung a piece. Oh, rook takes f6. That's very nice, actually. Very mean. Because queen e1, I can just take and play rook f. So Black decided to take the two rooks for the queen, but and then he hung his knight e4. He was like, "Oh, free knight," and he hung. This is strange. Like this is a strange thing about kids. Like sometimes they'll play, and then they'll just like hang so many pieces that you think like there's no way this person is good. And then sometimes they'll play these like absolutely brilliant games that you're like, this person should be a grandmaster. And then you never know which one you're going to get. So, because they just have a tendency to like totally collapse sometimes. I think that's what happened to Black. He played too fast. But we'll take it. A win is a win. So she's just 3-0 now, right?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, last year he went 4-0 twice, I think.
Dang. Yeah. He's definitely he's definitely the most useful player on our team because he's lower rated too, and he can get the same results as the others. Yeah.
Yeah. Roman had said the same thing, that he was maybe the most important player on the team because he can like ease the burden of board one, and he's underrated. So
I think it's just he's good at rapid chess. He plays a lot of rapid and blitz. I don't know.
and I
I
think
don't.
his over
I
the
don't think
board.
he likes classical that much, so that's probably why his rating is what it is.
I think his over the board went up a little bit, so we'll have to see what it
Yeah.
is next year.
Yeah. Maybe Ashish will go. Wait, I'm not gonna say it. Nope. I'm not gonna say it because that's gonna jinx him. That's what always happens. As soon as you say something, you jinx them. What did Julian do? Julian, after e5, on what move is this? On 17th move, knight c6 was played. Interesting. I didn't even consider this. I don't know why, because it makes a lot of sense. Because you can't take on c6 twice because your knight hangs. So e4, queen d4, threatening mate, knight f6. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, this just ended up being like a kind of a collapse for black. And now black is about to be down 2 pawns and has terrible structure. So that's what I'm saying. Like e5 is a move that I would play, but it's probably a move that I would mistakenly play. So I think e5 was a mistake. Now that I've seen this game, e5 was a mistake. I can safely say that. What should he have done? I don't know. Maybe he didn't equalize. I thought he might have equalized, but maybe he didn't. Because b6 is always weak and stuff. Yeah, I don't know what black does. It's tougher than I thought. I cannot figure it out. Wait. Why can't he defend? White played rook a5 for some reason. A reason that I do not understand. Yeah, free pawn. Was there something wrong with rook a1? Oh, I guess rook a1, then bishop e5, and your rook has to stay on the back row to defend against back rank, so you can't play rook a2. So you have to play like rook back somewhere, and then either I can play bishop b2 and take your pawn anyway, or I can try to maybe even get my rooks on the 7th, the pigs on the 7th. So maybe this was... Okay, so he's going for active defense, which I like. It is opposite colored bishops, but I think it's like a common misconception that opposite colored bishop endgames are drawn, because with rooks on the board, it's like a totally different story. Like rook endgames are quote unquote drawn. Even that's like questionable, but in opposite colored bishop endgames are drawn, but with them together, it's like kind of hard. Although without the rooks, like that statement is like actually true. But with rooks on the board, especially because black's down 2 whole pawns and his pawns are doubled. I don't know. I still think it's going to be tough to hold the draw. Tough defense. That sucks. Okay, who should we check? Roman? We haven't checked this one in a while. So this one was the queen, or the king's Indian attack that he hung / maybe sacrificed a pawn in. And then just like normal stuff happened, except for some reason black's missing a pawn. And when you're missing that pawn, it's actually kind of annoying because black's whole idea is to expand on the queen side and white's is on king side. So if you lost that pawn, it's like a lot harder to expand. But since then, he's played not too badly. Because he's traded everything. So now his king's a little bit safer. C3 pawn is hanging. The only question is queen e4 scary? Or actually, even like queen takes a5. Queen takes, knight takes c3. Extra pawn in knight endgames is like a decent advantage. Because they say that knight endgames are the closest to king and pawn endgames. And like usually if you're up a pawn in a king and pawn endgame, you're winning. So White decided not to go for that. I mean, like the rule of thumb is that you're not supposed to trade queens if your king is safer. But I don't know. Is White trying to convince themselves that their king is safer than Black's? Because I don't really agree. Or maybe he just wanted to take on f7. That's another possibility that I forgot about. Knight c6, queen takes f7, knight takes c3. What's happening? I'm kind of confused. Black's down a little bit of time. Is a4 an idea? All I can say is that I'm glad they're the ones playing it and I'm not. I think White's still doing good, but it's like complicated. What if I take your pawn on b3? What's your idea? Your idea is knight f5. Oh man, that's so mean. So if you take the pawn on b3, then knight f5, and I can't take your knight because my queen is undefended on b3 and it's pinned and you're threatening checkmate, which I can't stop. So queen takes b3 is not possible. But now he has to go here, and I think I can just take the pawn, right? Wait, no. Queen takes e6 is a blunder because of queen takes f3, king takes, and knight d4. So he's not going to do it. I'm still confused. Because this knight's pinned, which is actually really annoying for White. I don't know. I'm just saying things. Knight takes e5 is also... Wait, okay. Yeah, knight takes e5 is also a threat. So White has to stop that. But how? Yeah, the more I look at it, I think after knight e3, White underestimated queen e4. Because he probably missed that he couldn't take the pawn on e6 because of what I mentioned earlier. So, I mean, Black should be fine, at the very least. Hopefully. I'm not missing something. Okay, so let's check Isaiah. Isaiah gave up a pawn on b2, but he got a lot. He got the pawn back, and he got a lot of activity. I mean, I really like his position, as long as his rook doesn't get trapped. Bishop f3. I like it. Bishop f3. Unless I'm missing something. Okay. Hopefully we can convert this one too. Let's go back. I think out of all these games, probably Roman's game is the most critical. Because if New York wants to have a chance, I think Nico has to be Roman if they want to have a chance. So let's see. After queen e4, queen b7 was played. Then knight e2. Okay, so queen b7 does stop knight takes c5. Then knight e2 was played, and now he's going after white's king. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think white should have tried to trade queens earlier because, like, he thinks that he can attack black's king, but white's king is also really weak. And probably weaker than black's. Now knight d4, knight e d4 is the threat, sort of. And I mean, white's up a pawn, but it's the pawn on f2 that he's up. And his king's really weak. And now white has to think a lot, too, to figure out how to defend, which means he's going to be downtime. That's good. How does he even defend all the threats? Knight e2 is really strong, too. It stops king g3 getting out of the pin. It threatens knight d4. Yeah. I mean, if Roman can pull this one off, and if Roman and Isaiah can pull it off, then we should be in good position. Okay. So he did play bishop f8. Bishop f8 was played. Then rook takes c6, bishop d7, knight takes... Sorry, I'm on Isaiah's game, by the way. Knight takes c7, knight takes. So now I'm just up a clean 2 pawns. So, I mean, I would hope that white would win. Especially with almost 9 minutes on the clock. Okay, so in Roman's game, queen a8 was played. Then knight d4, then queen f8. But now, worst case scenario, I can trade everything on f3 and take on e5. And there's no way I should lose. Yeah, take there first. I actually forgot about that, but...
Julian might win on time.
I don't think he's gonna win on time. There's increment. Like white's... I mean, white can just move around forever and gain a lot of time. But can white win? Actually, he defended better than I thought. Like, somehow he managed to get all the rooks off the board. And like I was saying earlier, with the rooks on the board, it's like the drawing chances are a lot lower. But when they're off, like, you know, there's some hope. And also, the thing is, you always notice, like, how the bishop is a light squared bishop, and the h-pawn, queen's on h8, which is a dark squared, which means that if you can get rid of the g and e pawns, it's just a draw. Like, that's something I always notice. But I don't know if you can. Somehow I get the sense that white's still winning, but yeah, see, he keeps on keeps on thinking that he's gonna like make you think that he's gonna flag, but he's not. I think he's too experienced of a player to like actually flag. I really don't understand why he doesn't just like move around and like make like 10 moves, just move around to gain some time so he can like not flag every move. But okay. Is that what he's doing? Just as I said that, that's what he's doing. He's just gaining some time to figure out what to think. Does he have to play h6? Yeah, I was going to say h6 because king g8, then g6, and your pawn is pinned. And okay, so he's moving around more to gain some time. Wait, why doesn't white just play g6? Doesn't that just win? The pawns are too far advanced. There's this like rule of one diagonal. The bishop needs to defend everything up on one diagonal, like defend all the pawns from moving, and it's not. Like, it can't. Okay, so I have a lot of faith that white will win this, unfortunately. But in other news, Roman did manage to win. he won that piece. Then his opponent hung a queen. So that's good for us. Because wait, how many points do we have now? We had 3 in the first round, right? And then we had 1.5, so that's 4.5. And then we already have 2 more. So that's 6.5. And I was gonna say, oh wait, I counted it wrong. Yeah, Isaiah should win. Like, I'd be very, very surprised if he doesn't win. So if Isaiah wins, we have 7.5. We only need 1 point in the last round to win. But I don't want to say anything because I want to jinx him again. I gotta stop jinxing people. No, but he gave back the exchange, but like, this is totally winning. Totally. Like 2 extra pawns. Pawn's about to queen. Well, not about to, but it's going to queen someday, hopefully. And, okay, he traded rooks. That's like, he traded queens. That's like basically admitting that you're losing. What's up with Julian's position? Wait. Oh, no. But, okay, see, the thing is,
and Julian's
this wrong colored rook pawn, it is a draw if you can get there, but he can't take on g5 and sacrifice his bishop because his king is cut off from going there. So he's lost. Like, h7 is coming. He's lost. That's unfortunate. I think he's lost. Although it's not that simple. Oh, now he's just going for a g6 and... Or not. Oh, wait, g6 bishop. I'm like kind of confused. I think white is winning. Yeah, g6. What's happening? Is he just trying to gain time, or where's he going? Is this a draw? Like, is it seriously a draw? The more I look, the more I don't know how white makes progress. Like, black literally just keeps their bishop on that diagonal forever.
And Julian wants to trade the bishop for the 2 pawns?
Yeah, so if g7, then I'll take you. And if h7, then I have this blockade. That's the good thing about opposite colored bishops. You can make a blockade, and then they can't ever get you off of it because their bishop's the wrong color. Well, if he pulls this off, then dang. I wasn't expecting him. I was expecting him to lose, but if he does pull it off, then New York has a very tough task. Especially because our best player today, Ashish, is playing their lowest rated. So okay, wait. When was g6 played? I want to count for 50 moves. When g6 was played on move 110. How many moves has... Oh, it's only been halfway. Okay. But...
How many moves are they up to?
136. So they've... I don't know. What does white do? Like, white is going to hope that black pre-moves too many moves, and then he's going to play, like somewhere he's going to do something tricky and, like, mess with your... Just don't pre-move too much. And he's got to make it to 160. So he offered a draw. Oh, wow. He accepted it. So they both knew it was a draw. Wait, I'm like really curious now if white was winning. So his opponent misevaluated this, and I was wrong that this H and G versus this bishop. This bishop, that's the one diagonal. Now the bishop can control both pawns in one diagonal. Like, you want the pawns to be split, so they're harder to catch. And so e6 was a blunder, according to the engine. Before that, white was totally winning. So he just misvalued. I think, like, literally everything. Like, oh, bishop, he needed to, at some point, sacrifice his bishop. But that's not that hard to see. Like, you just push all your pawns. You can't catch all of them. Okay, so that was very unfortunate by Julian's opponent, but good for us. And now, okay. Isaiah, what's going on? He's still up 2 pawns, so I guess king d5 has to be played. Rook takes g6, rook takes c7, rook, I don't know, f6. I mean, it seems a little bit more complicated than it had to be, but, or a5, a4 I guess. Or, I don't know. It's still winning. I mean, he should win. Just don't, like, get low time. And okay, so he's going after that pawn. Oh, this is smart, though, because if he takes now rook a6, and I can take the other pawn. Or you trade rooks. Or not. Okay, but this is also good. Like, you gotta defend the pawn. Now, I always have rook a6 later. Rook a6. Take more pawns. Yes. And now just, like, rook f6, king f5, g6, g7, like, etc. I don't need the a pawn. Ditch the a pawn. Rook f6, I think. Wait. I'm, like, trying to count how many points we have, because I keep on forgetting every single time. We have 7 right now, right?
Yeah, it's 7-4 Missouri.
Yeah, we have 7, and we're winning this one. Hopefully, we win. We better win. Just please don't hang anything. I'm begging you. Rook, literally anywhere that doesn't hang. Just, I don't know. Rook e6. I got a suggestion move to make myself seem more competent. So, yeah, I guess the move. Check. Okay. Don't hang the rook by rook takes c4 and rook f2. Now we take. Now we have 3 extra pawns. I think he's just not resigning because he knows that, like, the match situation for New York is really bad right now. But it's more or less game over. It was game over a long time ago, but now it really is game over. Oh, please resign.
I think I could win from here, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, even a long time ago, you probably would have won. It's like checkmate. Yay! Wait, so we have 8 now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's so good. Because New York's a really strong team, right? We lost to them, but that was mainly because I lost all my games. But
I wondered if the guys maybe studied more now that they kind of knew who their opponents were. I wondered if it would be kind of a good practice run against New York.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, it's okay. It's partly because I lost all my games, but I mean, like, we're winning by a lot. Even if I had won 2, even if I had scored like 2 out of 4, which is kind of around, that's like even slightly overperforming for me. But then we would have won only by like 1 point. So now we're like doing super well. And I was gonna say, because we have a stronger team, but they also have a stronger team, at least on paper. In my, like, I think.
Yeah, their board 1 was a little bit stronger than last time.
Yeah.
by a couple.
But their board 1 isn't doing so well today. And their board 4 is... I mean, their board 4 wasn't really expected to do well, I guess. But, yeah. Okay, let's see. Have any of the games started? So, Julian's game started. We have... a Benoni? I think it's a Benoni. Okay. I think the Benoni structures are just good for white. Like, that's my opinion. But I don't play it with either side, so I don't know if I'm allowed to have an opinion. Looks like some normal stuff.
You're on Roman's game, or?
Yeah, let's check Roman. No, Julian's game was a Benoni, but I'm on Roman's game now, so we can look at it. So we have a bishop b5 check line. If I remember correctly, I had a game against Roman, a classical game, I think, and he played the same like a4. I think it was this exact line, actually. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong. And I think I took it. Maybe taking is a mistake. I don't know. But so it's probably something that he like plays. It's like very rare, but it's something that he plays definitely. So he probably knows what he's doing. Yeah. Because I think I remember I took in that game, and then my pieces got really tangled on the queen side. So maybe it was better for black to not take. But now a4 like makes some sense because it stops black's queen side expansion with like b5 and stuff, because that's what black wants to do. And now white can maybe try for f4. Maybe. Rook b1 I think is in case of bishop takes c3 or something. Okay, let's go to Isaiah's game. What do we have here? Okay, so we have another Benoni, but this time we're black. That's kind of interesting. So, wait, but like the thing is, if they're watching each other, they could like copy a little bit. Like, what if the New York white is just copying what Julian is doing? You're allowed to watch your teammates' games, right?
No, I don't think so. They
You aren't?
No, they record the screen and everything and side view and stuff. So
I know they record the screen, but I
don't know if actually in an over the board game you could get up and go look at other games. So maybe they don't care.
Yeah, I think I've seen people watch, and I don't think anyone said that you can't. So I was assuming that you could.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's like not cheating, right? Because like in an actual tournament, like you can let's say you play the same opening as some grandmaster, you can go up and watch their games and try to copy them, right? Like that's not cheating. Yeah. It's just kind of strange, you know. I mean, probably at some point your opponent will realize what you're doing and they'll like deviate so that you have to play on your own. But yeah. It's like, I don't know if the exact moves are the same, are they? It's like kind of going in the same direction. A little bit different, like a different move order. Julian's game is progressing really quickly though. Maybe it's just all theory, I don't know. Anyways, I don't understand that, so let's not look at that. Let's look. The French. Okay, finally there's like an opening that I actually know what's going on here. I know for a fact that Asish knows exactly what he's doing because I've played him from these positions. I was white and he was black at least 10 times. In rapid. Like, well, okay. No, I don't want to say, I would say in a tournament at least 5 times. And like online, way more than 10. Because like we'll play like, a few years ago during class we would play Bullet because we got bored. So this has happened a lot. We'd play Blitz, we'd play Rapid. So I know what he knows what he's doing. He definitely does. And I mean, it looks good, slightly better for white, and that's because it is. But also, like, I've lost a lot of games to him from the white side, so yeah. I'm not wait. How does the line go? A6. Wait, rook e1 is a little bit. Does rook e1? I think it's all move order, sort of. Oh, okay. I think I remember, maybe. I think the main line after knight takes d4 on move 11 is like queen c7, bishop b3, bishop d6, knight f5, bishop takes h2, king h1, castles, knight takes g7, and rook d8. It's like some crazy long. So he probably wants to avoid that because that's like some crazy theory line that it just but you should probably just not go into it. So I think bishop c5 also makes a lot of sense unless it pings something, but I don't think it does. I think none of the knight takes e6 or bishop takes e6. So, but somehow I get the feeling that his opponent is sort of floundering. Like, he doesn't know what to do. Oh, but bishop g5. Maybe I spoke too soon. I have faith in Ashish, though. Let's check Julian, because Julian like blitzed out a whole bunch of moves, and now they're like at the end of the game already. And what's happening? What's happening is that he won a pawn, then he sacked one back on e5. Wait, how did he get up in exchange? I cannot count material. That's kind of sad. Oh, his opponent sacked in exchange for some reason. That's probably why he's playing fast, because like he's just like, oh, I have extra material. And all we need is one. We don't even need a win. We need a draw, right?
Yeah.
So, like, based on how it's going, we're definitely going to get at least that. I think they're just kind of playing individually for their own, like, pride now. They're trying to win. I think Julian will win. Julian had a good day today too, right? Wait.
I think he had 2.5.
Let's see. Draw.
Whoa, did Black resign? Or am I looking at a different game?
No, he had 2 draws and 1 win, but still pretty good. And I think he's. Oh yeah, he did just resign. Okay, so that means that we definitely won the match. And Julian scored 3 out of 4, which is good. He's probably gonna be like, oh, I should have done better, because that's how he is. But it's fine. What did Ashish do? He lost a pawn. Why? Oh, okay. I was lamenting bishop takes h2, but now I understand, because he took this knight, and then they traded queen, so he's gonna lose the bishop. So he just gives up for the pawn. So he didn't lose a pawn, but he lost the central pawn. He gave up 2 bishops. His bishop is stuck on c8, at least for the time being. I know b5 and bishop b7 are coming, but it takes a move. It's white's turn, so takes rook d takes and rook d1, I would assume. Or this. This is also good. Black misplayed this. I spoke too soon. I said he knows what he's doing and I have faith in him. And then he goes and does this, and now next time I won't put my faith in him. This is not to say that he's like gonna lose or he's losing what, but his position's a little tough. I mean, if he can get b5 and bishop b7 in, like if it's his turn right now and he can do that, then maybe he's, but yeah, a4, I was gonna say. So now you gotta try for like b6, maybe. Because you gotta develop. I think rook e8 was hasty. Honestly, I would have preferred rook d1, rook a d1, but it's okay. I'm actually really surprised that we managed to beat New York. Because not gonna lie, I was expecting us to lose.
Well, they look like a tough team, especially after I realized their board 4 was 300 points stronger than we thought. But.
No, I just thought that New York's lineup was very smart. Because, like, you sacrifice... I know their board, it only counts as it has to count as 1800, but still, like, you sacrifice all those rating points and like you get someone really underrated and then you have these like really strong people. But somehow, like, our team did good.
Might be our biggest win since week 1 when we, I think we won by like 12-4 or something like that.
Whoa. Yeah, we already have 9. It's 9 versus 4, right?
Yeah, 9-4.
I don't think we'll get to 12, but we might get to 10. Okay, let's stop looking at Ashish's position because it's kind of sad and it's making me have bad memories. So let's go to Roman's game. A bunch of stuff happened since we last saw it. Somehow Black's pawn structure got really weird. And he's trying to... This b4 idea was good. Like, he softened White's structure up over there so that, like... Then, you know, once White decided to take, now the b2 pawn is really weak. But in return, Black's king is very weak. And a king is worth more than a pawn. Unless he blunders f4. Whoops. Does that work? Bishop f... Oh, bishop f6, queen f6. And then takes and takes the queen. So, he blundered again. Yeah. I was going to say that, like, bishop f6 looks very menacing. And, you know, if Black gets mated, then who cares about b2? But he, after okay. f4, because the problem is you can try to play queen f3 or queen f2 and pin. But I take on g3 with check. So, it doesn't work. I think you have to give up the piece.
Yeah.
Or you can do this, which for some reason I missed. Probably because I'm hungry and tired. But... Wait, actually... Maybe it's not that bad. But it's kind of bad. Because now, king g8. Sorry, I'm like calculating stuff. Yeah, king g8. Yeah, he's gonna try rook f1. And now I was trying to figure out if e2 works, but I guess not because he didn't do it. This is still bad, though, because even if you take on e3, like, e5 is hanging, and so is b2. And then if I take both those, you're down a pawn, and your pieces are a little bit don't know what he's thinking about, to be honest. What other choice do you have, though? You kind of gotta get rid of that e3 pawn. And then bishop takes e5, king goes, rook takes... I guess c5 is hanging, so maybe you need to defend that first, but... I like black's chances to win, unfortunately. Let's see if we have any happier positions. Go to Isaiah's game. This was this Benoni. He played g5, then he...
Isaiah's game, you said?
See, this is what I call pretending to attack. You're pretending to go over there and do things, but are you actually? I don't really think so. But on the flip side, black doesn't have too many problems. Like, obviously it's the Benoni, so you always have this like weakness on d6. And white has these squares, whatever. But in terms of actual concrete problems, he played g5 to stop f4 and e5, and so, like, white wants to roll their pawns. So that was a good decision. But as soon as I said that, he plays g4 and lets white play f4. So... Oh, wait, but if f4, then the pawn on e4 hangs. Never mind, then this is a good move. You attack the base of the pawn chain. But as I was saying earlier, like, white couldn't really do anything. So even though black has these weaknesses, they're not really weaknesses if they can't be attacked. And, I mean, I think black's the only one that can be better here. Because if you can trade, I mean, yeah. He's probably going to, like, take on f3, and then he has the e5 square now for his pieces. And that's, like, a very key square in Benoni. So, finally, we got one happy position and two less happy positions. Ashish. I was really expecting him to go 4-0, but I jinxed him because I said it. Like, I didn't say it, but I almost said it, and I jinxed him, and now he's, like, in big trouble. I think the pawn's just queening, like c7. Yeah, c7 was played. And now bishop e6. Ugh. That's a shame. Yeah, he resigned. Oh. Darn. So I guess, like, New York's still fighting back, even though they lost the match. I think if Julian hadn't won so fast, this match would be a lot more tense than you'd think. But because he did, it's kind of just like, okay.
Yeah, 8-5 with 3 games to go would be different.
Yeah.
And in the playoffs, they have some sort of a blitz system afterwards, so we'd have to keep playing until it was sorted.
But I think in terms of blitzes, we have a good team. Like, if we need, like, this team, because I know Julian is, well, Julian's strong at blitz. She's just very strong at blitz, probably even better than rapid, if I'm telling the truth. Although, I think he considers himself better at blitz than rapid, too. Roman is pretty good, too. I haven't seen him play as much. Isaiah, I'm not too sure how. But, like, they can't be bad, right? I'm just saying, like, relative to how good they are at rapid. I would say Ashish is better at blitz than rapid, and Julian's, like, around the same. Maybe even better. I don't know. I know I'm worse at blitz than rapid, and I'm worse at rapid than classical. So
The more time, the better.
yeah, to an extent, actually, because my favorite time control is like game in 60 with like 5 or 10 second delay. It's
Okay.
just because I like played those a lot, and it's the right time control. Game in 60 or game in 90, where like you have time to think, but then eventually when things actually get too complicated, then it's just a time scramble, and you just like do random stuff. And that's why when you play lower rated, it's just like you wait till the time scramble. You get a time advantage. And they blunder something and you win. It just makes life easier. Um, I like game in 60 and also like 90 plus 30, like anything with increment, which is kind of a contrast, but those, I like those. But I really hate the really long ones where like, there's the second time control is okay as long as it's 30 minutes and not 1 hour, because 1 hour after move 40, that's too much. Then the games go on like 7 hours and you're just like, you don't want to think anymore at that point.
I've never played that kind. Is that usually what FIDE tournaments are?
No, FIDE, well, it depends. The longest time control I've played before is actually at the US Open. The time control is something like 100, or it's like 120 in 40, and then 60 minutes after, and then 10-second increment, something along those lines. Like really crazy. And they always have rounds start at 7 p.m., right? So I remember I had 2 games go past 1 a.m.
Oh, wow.
And it was really not fun. I think I lost one of them, and then the other one I drew, but I offered a draw in like a much better position because I was just too tired. I was like, I'm gonna blunder something if I continue playing. So yeah, that's terrible. And then FIDE, some like actual, not just FIDE tournaments, like not FIDE tournaments here, but like international. It's usually like 90 minutes in 40 moves, 30 minutes after, but with the 30-second increment. So it's a little bit shorter. Those ones are like kind of hard to play too, though. They're too long, in my opinion. Okay. So I probably should be saying something about the position, but
Isaiah won.
It just finished. Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like I mean, Black was just getting all the counterplay against the king, which is what he wants in these types of situations. White never got their queen side going, so I mean, it can't end in anything but good things for Black. So then we have 2 wins this round, 1 loss. This last game, I think without calculating like a lot, I think Black's just winning. Yeah, because he decided to sacrifice an exchange. I think the thing is your king is so bad. I'm really scared that you're getting mated. So he sacrificed this exchange, but how does this work? Rook f7? I mean, I assume rook f7. Unless you want to give the exchange back. That's also another option. You can just give the exchange back, take all the pawns. So I think this round will be 2-2. But that means we only lost 1 round. And that was because we had 2 blunders.
Yeah, we're 10-5 so far.
Yeah. Rook f7 was played. I think it'll be 10-6, but I don't want to speak too soon. Every time I say something and predict it, it ends up being the opposite. So
Let's say 10-6, and then we'll win it.
Okay. I mean, I predict 10-6. I think here, like, there's all these tricks, but I don't know if any of them actually work for white. It's more tricky than I thought. Somehow he came up with some sort of try to do things. Okay. I'm actually considering h6 for black. Whether it's good, it's questionable. I think h6 just bishop takes. There's nothing there. Rook f5. Or then I can play king g6. Yeah, I was going to say instead of h6, just rook f5. But then what do you do after king h6? This is a lot trickier than I thought. Then maybe he shouldn't have played rook f7. Maybe he should have just gone like rook a3 or rook d4 or something. Just given back the exchange and taken all the pawns. Because what does black do now? Bishop f6 is a threat. You have to give back the exchange. And I think this way was worse. Like, this helps white a little bit. Get some counterplay in the rook endgame. Maybe. Question mark.
You plan on playing in the Missouri Championship in September?
Sadly, no. I'm banned. Well, not banned. I'm not allowed to play chess tournaments for the next few months.
Yeah, too much stuff going on?
Yeah, it's making me really sad. I wanted to play. I'm still working on changing my parents' mind, but as of right now, I'm not allowed to play. So,
well, we have Grandmaster Ramirez is coming to put on a simul before that, but you probably get to see him at the St. Louis Club every day anyway.
No, not all the time. Although I don't talk to him much. I think he knows who I am. I hope he knows who I am. I met him when I was really young too, and not in St. Louis, like somewhere else. It's kind of funny. King g8 was played. Wait, actually, is he getting out? Somehow he's getting out. Okay, so he doesn't have to sell. See, every time they move, I keep on changing my mind, which means I don't really know what's going on, and clearly they're much better than I am.
I think these are the board ones playing each other, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, okay, wait. But bishop f6, at least I can take your h7 pawn and pretend to attack your king. It's still tricky. I think. Maybe. Wait, bishop f6 or bishop e6. Bishop e7, you can take the c5 pawn, but then you lose the e5 one. So probably bishop f6. That's what I would play. Bishop f6. So you did take that pawn. That's what I was saying, sort of. To play bishop f6 and take on h7. And now at the very least, you're threatening a draw. Rook g8, rook g7. Wait, was that a perpetual? I guess not. But this... See, he found a way to sacrifice the exchange in such a way that now I lose the f6 pawn, which was like kind of my only hope. Because if rook g6, then rook h4. Well, rook h4 is just a threat in general. So, like, you had to stop it. And if you do, then you lose your pawn. Then you have 2 weak pawns, and you're down a pawn. So... I don't know if the outcome will be good. He's going to take on f6 or play rook h4. I don't know. But I think he will do one of the two. Maybe. Yeah. It's just too many pawns. They're all going to roll. For my sake, can you resign so I can go eat, Roman? He's not going to resign. I know him. He's probably mad right now. All chess players are the same in that aspect. Like, you just hate losing so much. I think it's time to resign soon, though.
Roman's really hard on himself too. He got like 2.5 points one time, and he was mad at himself for a while. But...
No, I think that's just a chess player trait too. Julian's pretty bad about that. Isaiah, I don't know Isaiah as well. I think he's a little bit more chill about it. But Roman and Julian are like really, really self-deprecating.
Isaiah said that
like they're a lot worse than I am, and I'm pretty bad. So
Isaiah said that I think his dad knew you when you were a kid, maybe. But,
yeah. I think I first met his dad when I was really young, like definitely under 1,000 rated. So you can imagine how long ago that was.
So his dad was a chess player also?
His dad's like a scholastic chess coach. I think he teaches
okay.
at schools and stuff. Yeah. So we just like knew each other at tournaments, and then like when I started getting good, like obviously people knew who I was.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and I'll let you go eat.
Yeah, I'm hungry, as you can probably tell.
So it looks like we're live for another round of the playoffs next week.